What's up, y'all? It's Lawrence from Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk, and today we're unboxing that Bane Batman Nightfall 2-pack. We're going to compare Bane to some other mega figures, size them up with some different Batman, compare this wire cape to some other wire capes. We're going to have some fun with this one. Let's go. Boom. Here we are, man. Here we are. Now, I missed out on that Bane that came out years ago, and now it's going for crazy on like eBay. So I'm so happy I caught this one. Got that Batman vs. Bane, Batman Nightfall right here. And then this right here. Now this isn't the actual artwork in the comic book, right? But this is a great, I guess, reimagining of that dope artwork. I feel like they should have just gave us the artwork that was in the book. I don't know. Who cares? And I correct myself. This image right here is from the cover of that comic book. Not what's in the comic book. I'm tripping. It's late, and it's been a long time since I read it. My bad. Now back to the figure. If you're looking for it, here's that code right here. All right, let's get this bad boy out. All right, so the first thing I'll show you officially is this card, Batman vs. Bane. Same artwork that was on the box. I'll flip it around. You can pause it if you want to read it. To quite honest with you, if you haven't read the Nightfall arc, it's pretty freaking dope. But to be honest, I haven't read it since the 90s, so I don't know if it actually holds up, but it's dope in my memory. Now, let me pull this bad boy out. Now, this is really cool because you can create your kind of sort of diorama with this, which is the Batcave, because the fight ends with Batman and Bane in the Batcave, and that's where he gets broken. What's really cool about this is, in a similar 2-pack we got with Superman and Doomsday, McFarlane gave us something similar with this backdrop where Superman sort of kind of dies in Metropolis. But he put the figure stands on here, which means if you take them out, you kind of ruin this set piece, which is kind of dope if you have a shelf that you can put that as your backdrop. But he learned his lesson with the Batcave. So thank you, McFarlane, for learning your lesson. First up, let's take a look at Bane. Now, like I said, I didn't have the other Bane that came out. So I don't really, this is my first time actually getting him in hand, and he is dope, man. He is a good looking figure. He is hulking, he is strong. We have the details. This doesn't come off, so you can't take a peek at his nipples. But all in all, this is a great figure, man. Decent articulation for a figure this big. I don't know if it's, I'm pretty sure most of it is from the old Bane with some new parts. But not bad articulation for a figure that technically came out years ago. And that's a big reason why I got this pack, is because I missed out on that Bane. If you guys ever seen the aftermarket prices on that bad boy, it's pretty crazy. But I love the detail here. Let me bring them a little closer to you. Let me bring you guys a little higher up. Bring them a little closer to you. You can see here just the details in that mask, man. And the veins coming out. Right there where he gets his venom. And the hair is shaded. The hair on his shoulders and his traps. It's just, it's drawn. So it's not sculpted in, but that's fine for me. You make up a little bit more here. look at that detail. And I know this is supposed to be kind of like the how the light hits the black, right? That they use in the comics, like Batman the Animated Series, a lot of Batman stuff, they have it all black with that kind of hint of blue, as if it's a deep blue and the light's hitting it, I guess, or the black has a shine. I don't know. But this looks really cool just for like the design of his clothes. So I'm not even looking at it as that kind of shading that they do, because I don't actually like that cell shading, but this doesn't look like that to me. And just the details on his Venom cartridges are so sick. Grabbing hand, his belt, and just the details and just the texture of his clothes and these pants. I mean, that's dope. Take a look at his boots and just focus. It's just a dope figure, man. Bring you back down. Go over a little bit of his articulation some more so you can get a great idea of how he articulates. You can do the splits. Arms are good. Just on the verge of being too loose. But good. And barely any head articulation. Going side to side is not so bad, but you're not going to get much with up and down. And you get the Venom connected here, which is interesting. He uses just a band around his arm to connect the cord. This is where he pumps the Venom to get huge. This is dope. And he stands pretty great. Stands pretty great. How dope is that? He comes with 2 fists. Is that how the toy tubers do it? They do this and it's supposed to go in focus. It's not working for me though. And yep, definitely a solid match. You never know with McFarlane sometimes. A few of those Batman figures, the fists did not match the gloves. Or each other, I should say. But Bane is great. Now let's take a look at, I mean, I love Bane and all, but I'm here for Batman. Let's take a look at Nightfall Batman. Yo, this is a solid figure, man. The wired cape, which I'm loving McFarlane doing the wired cape. So all of these scratches are not sculpted in, they're painted, which I don't like. I didn't like that on Superman. But for some reason, they're not so bad here. I think it's just the coloring's better. We can use more blood, though. in some of these scratches, I think. Shiny cape. This material is very different. We're compared to some other wire capes. This material is very different. All right, let me bring you in for a closer look. Bring it up. All right. So let's take a look at that face. Oof. I love the grimacing growl as he's just fighting for his life, man. I like that a lot. I'm not in love with the dark circles around his eyes. I think that's a bit too much. Same with this shading here. I don't think it's necessary. I think the blood in the mouth does it. I actually don't like those subtle hits. And I don't know if that's the way, I'm sure it was drawn in those ways in the comics as shading or to create drama. But to see it just sitting on a figure, it's just not doing it for me. All right, let's see. But definitely reuse of the Nightfall Batman, and we'll take a look at that soon. But you see, but there's so much like just shading, like a wash around his muscles and stuff, which actually looks really dope. Wish they did it on the original Nightfall. You can even see on his belt, it has a bit of that shading as if the buckle's shiny, which is pretty cool, man. Kind of gives it a premium feel. I don't know how I feel about, I don't need the bat logo sculpted, but I do want it more uniform to the original Nightfall release. Like I want to believe that was him before it hit the fan, but it doesn't look bad. We'll compare them soon. Excuse me, I'm yawning. It's actually pretty late here. I had to do this when my son went to sleep. And then, behind his cape. Oh, this cape. We'll take a better look at this cape in a second. But yeah. All right. We'll do that now. We're going to check out his articulation. Let me bring it down. Hold on. Let me put a little bit more light on this guy. Here we go. Okay. So, guys, has the splits. Arms go really good. Nothing is stiff, which I like, but it doesn't feel too loose either. And of course, you need to be able to get this action, right? If he's gonna get his back broken. Gonna have a good ab crunching. You can look down about that far, which isn't far, and up about that far, and of course to the side, all that jazz. And the cape, if you guys haven't gotten any figures yet with this wire cape, I mean, it is really dope. I don't collect Mafex, so like McFarlane's my first introduction to actually owning a figure with a wire cape, and I love it. It's an interesting texture. It's a very shiny texture. It's what I imagine they use for that Adam West Batman that's coming out. It's kind of shiny. The two-tone is dope. It's dope. I almost feel like it should have been tattered, right? If this is the heat of the fight, it should have been tattered. But definitely can make for some dramatic poses as he's, trying to fight. It doesn't go high enough to create Yeah, this was very different. And we'll compare it to the other cape in a second, but it doesn't like come out high enough to create the iconic bat, symbol, whatever, with his cape. Now, not that he did that in Nightfall, but still, you might want your figure to do that, and it can't here. This is as far as this goes, which is kind of weird, because there's a lot of cape here. It's not like there's not a lot of cape. It's just the way it's cut. He does come with 2 fists. Match perfectly. And this batarang, which I'm sure came with the other Nightfall figure, just a different shade of blue. All right, so let's put Batman back here. And let's compare Bane to some other mega figures I have. So this Bane is huge, as you can see. Now, Bane isn't usually that big, right? They definitely took some liberties here. And here he's standing, I can't talk. Here he is standing next to Clayface, towering over Clayface, which is probably, it's not accurate at all, but I'll allow it in figure form. In figure form, it's cool to have a Bane this huge. And I'm sure a lot of this was said during the original release. And here he is standing next to Doomsday from the Death of Superman 2-pack. And again, stand up straight, buddy. And again, like, I don't think Bane and Doomsday are almost neck and neck in height. Doomsday is bigger than him, like he's a thicker figure, but Bane is taller. That is definitely not accurate, but still, who really cares? Because this Bane is freaking fire. All right, now let's check out. Now, this is the issue I'm having, because this is the original Nightfall Batman we got. And he was labeled Nightfall Batman, although this Batman can be kind of any 80s, early 90s, or no, all 90s until like what, 99, 98 when he switched over, can't remember, but all 90s, 80s, and 70s Batman, right? But he was labeled Nightfall Batman. So I would love, like, if you're having displays and you're kind of playing with your figures and he's fighting Bane and he gets his butt kicked and he kind of like, turns into this. It would have been cool if their colors matched, because they definitely don't. I would say this one is definitely more comic accurate in color-wise to the comic. His gray was darker and his blue was lighter. Although I love this. This is like I'm sure there's comics where you can find where he had this color scheme. But it's kind of Superpowers Batman color scheme. You can obviously see where they're the same figure. You can see where, one emblem is painted and one emblem is not. I wish there was some uniformity to that, since they're supposed to be the same figure, just one is battle damaged and one isn't. But it is what it is. I can use my imagination. And he started this way and got this way. Doesn't really matter to me because I'm not displaying them together anyway. But if you did, I can see where that would be annoying. He is displayed with, over here, with Robin. Oof. If he can stand up. McFarlane figures and standing up. Yeah, that's kind of where he lives on my desk. with Robin. All right. So this is what I'm saying when I talked about Batman's cape, right? So you have this Batman right here. I love this figure. I absolutely adore this figure. And I've definitely been kind of playing with him a lot since I've watched Batman the Cape Crusader, because like this is that Batman pretty much. How did you guys like it? I dug it, man. And even after thinking about it some more, I liked it a lot. It's not supposed to be Batman the Animated Series. And, you know, I would say look at it as if it were the Elseworlds version of Batman the Animated Series, where it's supposed to be turned on his head. What if Batman was in the 1940s and his criminals wasn't what you thought they would be? Anyway, enough of that. Just trying to get him to stand up. So yeah, see what I'm saying with his cape? His cape flares out higher, right? You can create that kind of bat logo. Am I tripping? Is it the same? I feel like, no, his cut here. So yeah, you can't get that with this figure because of the way they cut the fabric. But there's a lot of cape here. It's just the way they cut it. So I find that to be unfortunate. But the textures are similar, except this is definitely doubled up. And maybe that's why I can't. I don't know. It definitely feels thicker, but similar material. Unlike this guy. And this material is more like underwear. It's the best I can describe it, that kind of meshy underwear. But yeah. But I am digging what he's doing with these wire capes. Because they're just as dramatic as the sculpted ones, you know, so you can put them on a shelf with a sculpted one and it won't look out of place because you can make it just as dramatic and flowing in the same direction as a sculpted cape. Let's just take a look at Bane with some other Batmans. Well, really one other Batman. You know, because this could just be your Bane. And if you want to have him with a different Batman, that works, because as big as this Batman is, Bane is bigger than everybody. Bigger than everybody. You know, before the fight. Or if you like to mix and match, you know, grab some of your movie versions. Pattinson would die. Battinson, I should say. And if you're looking for some kind of cool display, I mean, the 90s, it was fun to be a DC comic fan in the 90s. Comic fan in general, man. These superheroes weren't dying and being put out of submission like they are now. So when Superman died, it was a big freaking deal. It was a big deal. When Batman had his back broken and was out of commission, that was a big deal, man. And you see the 4 Superman come in, take his place, and then Azrael turns into this crazy, psychotic Batman. I mean, that stuff wasn't just happening. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The worst day in these guys' lives. But I guess it's time to stop playing around and see if I can get him into that iconic pose.
Might need to make him kneel. There's no way he can stand that way. Oh, excuse me.
Boom. He broke the bat. That is freaking dope. I'm loving this. And then they fell over. Well, that's the video, man. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Did you get it? Are you gonna get it? Are you passing on it? Let me know. I love it. And I gotta be much more strategic with my buys because I'm running out of space. But when I saw this, I had to get it. Let me know if you felt the same way. Check us out on Sundays. We have a really great show. We're talking about all the stuff in geek culture. Hit the playlist. I got so many other unboxings. So does Rich, Chris, and Jack. And make sure you like and subscribe. I should always say that at the top, but I forget because I'm so excited to show you toys. Anyway, that's all I got. I see you same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. We're talking